I'm Josiah. Here's Mom,
Hello.
Dad,
Hey.
and Daniel.
Hey, everybody.
And so today we are answering your questions to what is your single biggest challenge to moving to Africa. And we are also going to be we're very excited to also share with you. We've got an upcoming workshop that we're working on where we're collaborating with you because we want to answer your questions and make it the best possible workshop for you, for all of you who are interested in moving to Africa. We're in East Africa. We live here in Zanzibar, going on 2.5 years now, and we're loving it. Mom and Dad are happily retired. Daniel and I are freelancing. And so that's what we're doing here today. So watch the live chat, especially those in the replay. All the critical links and everything will go into the description, but there will also be links popping up right here in the live chat as well. If you're interested in our offerings, which we will get into in a minute, you can find everything at our website, www.awakenwithmark.com. We also want to say thank you to all of the new subscribers. We're almost at 10,600 subscribers as of this live. So we're super grateful. We're having a great time as the family, and our brothers back in Maryland. Daniel and I have two other brothers. They're hyped too and are using their creativity as well. Go ahead, Daniel.
Hey, everybody. As you're joining into the live stream, type 1 if you can hear us, type 2 if you cannot hear us. Let us know how we sound, how we look, so this can be the best stream we stream.
And so, Dad, did you have anything to kick us off with our upcoming project?
Hey everyone, hey. Let's see here, anything to kick us off our upcoming project? And you're referring to the workshop coming up, and we really encourage you to invest in yourself. That is extremely important. And think of it that way, as an investment in yourself. There's a statement that time is money. That is a false statement. Time is not equal to money at all. In fact, you can test it out yourself. As I heard one person, Myron, say, if I was going to give you $500, let's up it. I was going to give you $500,000. But it was dependent on one thing, and that is you would have to die the next day. Would you take the $500,000?
No.
No.
What am I good for? What's it good for?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a good point. The money's not any good anymore.
No.
And therefore, time is not equal to money. That's another mistruth that we got learning the ways of Babylon. It's not. Time is very important. Money is a renewable resource, and so you want to put it somewhere where it gains something back for you. And we're listening to your comments. We've already gotten survey results back that we have sat down as a team and begun pouring through. And so we're finding out the things that interest you all the most as we build the workshop, which would address your particular needs. So that ought to be really exciting. And look, the process is exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, the process. Yeah. So that's goodness coming up. And in fact, if you want to get your name on the waiting list, because there will be limited slots when it does come out, limited slots, then get your name on the wait list. Just send an email to awakenwithmark@gmail.com. In the subject line, simply type workshop. That's all you have to type. You don't even have to know how to type workshop. You can hunt and peck. W's on the left-hand ring finger. Okay. So anyway, go ahead. Again, send it to awakenwithmark at gmail.com. In the subject line, just type workshop, and that'll get you on the waiting list for when we do put it out there and you can go ahead and make your decision to invest in yourself.
I'm putting the email in the live chat right now, and I will pin it for you.
One of the things is you see Josiah leading the effort, and you need to understand that we are a team, and there are still two people you do not see, two sons on the mainland of the continent of North America, commonly known as the United States. They work on this also. But Josiah is actually the CEO. He's the key man, the point man, the visionary for things going on. Marlene and I are simply the talent. I'll show our age. If you remember WKRP in Cincinnati, there was Venus Flytrap and Dr. Johnny Fever. We're simply the talent. That's all we are. And we have, of course, Daniel, who really is all things IT. And that's a whole lot on his shoulders. So, and we're grateful for all the work that you put in behind the scenes and in front of the camera too.
Yes.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody else.
Oh, thank you. Tremia says, oh, yeah, she's signed up and anticipating wealth of knowledge. It's awesome. So we got people on the wait list already in the live chat right now. We appreciate your feedback. Let me pick up where Dad left off right there. Yes, it's pinned right there in the live chat. Email subject. I wrote Africa workshop or just workshop in the email subject to awakewithmark@gmail.com. We'll put you on the wait list. You will get a follow-up email with an all-important survey of about 12, 15 questions where we're asking you what are the single biggest challenges, or what are the biggest challenges for you're facing to moving. And this is person by person, family by family, but it helps us get a sense of what this workshop could look like. So we're building it together with you. Our concerns were a little bit different from yours. Again, we've been here 2.5, almost 3 years. And so our things were different from yours. Some of you might be coming with, I don't know, also retired parents, little children. You might be young couples. You might be digital nomads. You might be looking to start a farm, maybe build some type of brick and mortar. You might be looking to have multiple properties, all types of things that can be answered in the survey that we're going to send you. So email Africa Workshop to awakenwithmark@gmail.com. We'll put you on the wait list. Send us your answers in the survey, and that'll help us compile things. And the workshop will be TBD. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you to those already who have signed up to receive the survey, to opt into the workshop waiting list. Your responses have been extremely helpful in terms of us building this thing together, down to the minute details, and it's helping us add, take away, consider many things. So, yes, as Josiah was saying, please click on the highlighted comment so you can get into the waiting list for the workshop. Very exciting.
So we're doing these lives to give you a chance to interact with us. Interaction is a very good thing. It gives us a chance to communicate beyond the monologues and the videos. Becomes a two-way street then, and we can talk. Hence the title, What's Your Single Biggest Challenge Moving to Africa? So you can type those things in to the chat and we'll pick them up. And also, if you have a question, just put a Q, colon, or type out the word question and put your question in there. And while you're about to do that, let's see here. What cities and or states are you from? Just kind of curious as to where people are watching from. You can type that in the chat.
And also, yes, please type a Q with your question. We will do our best to answer based on our experience living in East Africa. We lived in Rwanda for a year. We've lived now in Zanzibar for a year as well. So we don't have all the answers, but we got a lot of answers that we'd like to give you. And we're also we're very kind of nerdy. You know, everyone's not like that. So we watch a lot of YouTube. We read a lot of articles. If we don't have the answer, we feel like we know people or resources. We can just point you in that direction so that you're good, so that you get the answers that you need for your situation, for your adventure. And definitely watch the live chat. We'll put those things in there. And again, anything else pertinent, it'll go in the live chat or also in the description box for this video, links and things like that.
You had mentioned that Trimi Yasrael, I see they had said, let's see here, good to hear that you all are enjoying the process. That's rare. And I think I had said that. So yeah, I actually meant that. And if you appreciate you typing that in, because honestly, for anyone considering moving abroad or doing anything in your life, you really have got to enjoy the process. Here's a quick story. So in the early 70s, I was playing high school football. I played 4 years. I was nowhere near a superstar at all, playing wide receiver. I remember being in the Midwest out on the dirt field. We did not have grass. It was dirt, dusty, and you have 2-a-days actually in July and August, as a matter of fact. It's so hot where I'm from, they say the corn can pop on the corn stalk, okay? Anyway, I remember it being so bad that I actually had a situation where I threw up during practice on the field. But after that, I was light and fleet of foot and ready to go hit, go ready to catch some balls, go ready to block. And I was invested in the practice because that's part of the process. It's just not Friday night under the lights in the stadium. It's not. And nothing in your life is that. So one of the key principles is to learn to enjoy the process. And the process in this case is your journey of preparation. If you're moving abroad, it's packing your bags, it's getting your to-do list together, it's working on learning Swahili, it's trying to give away food in your refrigerator, trying to, remember we were doing that, Josiah?
Oh yeah, trying to give away food, trying to figure out when to sell the car because we are trying to give away food, we're getting furniture, we're moving, you can't just get rid of it. So there was strategy we had to employ.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say one thing also. The process is like envisioning yourself being where you're going. Because sometimes we're so busy in the process that we are like, okay, we are going somewhere. And it's like, okay, we're getting everything together to be able to do that and to see yourself there settled and experiencing new things. So that's part of the process too.
Yeah, I remember going through that process and being a bit frustrated. I wasn't ready just yet to enjoy it, but I did find myself appreciating it soon after and realizing that wow, I know so much now, like more than I did beforehand, and this information can be, used to help people or used to help friends and family, people who are also moving abroad. So yeah, definitely, I would say take a step back while you're in your process and look at, okay, what have I learned so far that I didn't know? And now I do know, and I'm already further along ahead than I originally was. So, yeah.
Hello to Trimi Yasrael from St. Louis, Mo. Yay.
Nice.
Down that way.
All right.
Yeah, many trips to Kiel Auditorium to see Peeble Bryson and Rufus and Shaka Khan. Okay, I digress. Anyway, hey to G. Smith, watching from Atlanta area, originally from Illinois. Woo-woo. I am familiar with Rome, Georgia, Rockmart, and a few other places down that way. I don't know if you are. And I got cousins down in Marietta, and I spent some time in North Dunwoody for IBM corporate training, as a matter of fact. So hello to you all. Did I miss anybody down there? Let's see here.
Nope.
Okay.
So far, that's everyone at the time who is in. And thank you guys for liking liking the video up. That shows YouTube that we're doing a great job, and you'll see more of this stuff. So thank you. That really helps.
You know, Daniel, I got a question for you. So when you were talking just a few minutes ago, you had said that you had felt a little uneasy at first. And my question has to do with one of the things that you brought to the team when we were in Los Angeles, and we had been living there 3 years. It was a dream come true. It was fantastic. From trips to Hollywood to driving up on a whim to San Francisco just to see Pier 39 again and stuff like that. That was fun. But you got us moving forward, and one of the simple things was packing. And how did it feel in terms of when we hadn't done anything and you kept getting on our case, and then you just went ahead and started?
A little, I want to say scary. It's a weird feeling because you know you're not going tomorrow, but somehow just taking my clothes out of the drawer and putting it in the suitcase, just, it's like I can see it now. It's not just in my head. Like I can see it and I feel closer to achieving my goal.
Yeah.
That's how it was. And I just had to be patient with everybody along the way because people, maybe Josiah was a step ahead in a different process that I wasn't. Eventually we all got, our clothes in the suitcases and stuff, but everybody lending to the group effort, the team of moving, was different steps ahead than I was and vice versa. So it really helped me feel like I could at least do something, even though we'd be weeks out or like a month out. So it's just like, what is something you say, something, Dad, you would say whenever you're trying to achieve a goal or something. It's like, what can you do now or tomorrow to like get closer to that thing? I don't have the exact words that you always say, but there's something that you can start now, whether you write it down on a list. I've heard of people where they didn't write something down on a list, and immediately after doing it, they write it down and check it off so they can feel good about it. It's like something to help keep you engaged, I guess.
Yeah, one of the ways we say it is in coaching, what is the next step that you can complete within 7 days? And it's part of the growth acronym. G is for goal. R is for what is your current reality. O is for what options do you have? GROW. How do you spell growth?
That's right.
Grow, yeah. And W is what is the next step you can take or the way forward, but in 7 days or less. And that's an easy step. And it's like Les Brown said, the hardest thing is really just get started. Just start, and that's what you did. You got us started because then we needed, and we were encouraged to get more suitcases before, and we were running all over to Ross and other stores.
We went all over. I don't remember them, but I remember the night we were running all over, maybe a week out before we left, actually. And it wasn't fun at the time per se. I guess you could look back on it and it was thrilling. But yeah, we ran to Ross, maybe Kohl's, and just different places because we were on a budget to get luggage, make sure the TSA locks would fit them. And I think we had a miracle one night where we got a nice discount or something because we bought 2 or 3 things of luggage. So it was just blessing after blessing, and Daniel just spearheaded that luggage. You got to put your stuff somewhere.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because you never have as much time as you think you have for anything in life. So that's why some project managers or folks who are planning a budget for some major thing at a corporation might add 15% or 20% because it never works the way you think, and you never have as much time as you think you do. And who would have thunk we were given a warning to go ahead from a sister, go ahead and buy your luggage and get going because it's a seasonal kind of a thing, and we were at beyond the travel season, because we were into October, November, December timeframe, and the travel season is really when you're going, I guess, May, June, the beginning of summer.
Yeah.
So it's. I mean, who would have thunk that we could have possibly ran into having trouble finding suitcases because it's a
Exactly.
seasonal item.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to get started. Thank you, Tremi Yasrael. That reminds me of faith with works. Yeah.
Right.
I see the heart there. So, but anyway, so thankful that Daniel really got us kick-started on moving forward on our W, something we could do within a short amount of time to get the ball rolling and get started, which was start packing, because it kind of shows your investment, your commitment to it.
Yes. Because again, the hardest thing, like Dad said, can be to start, and you don't want analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Because things are always changing, and that can be frustrating, but it is a part of it. But at least if you do start, like getting luggage, like what kind of luggage do you want? Like you can get nerdy, like hard shell, or I guess the opposite would be soft luggage. How do you want the wheels to roll, one direction? Or do you want it to be, I guess the wheels revolve, which is very easy. It makes travel very easy for you in the terminals and stuff. You don't think about it, but when you get into this stuff, it comes up.
Yeah, I like how you pointed that out with the wheels and the terminals. This might sound like trivial stuff, but it's actually very important for those critical moments that you're going to be traveling for possibly 70 something hours or 24. It's like you're in the air for X amount of hours, and then you're also like transferring to different like layovers, and you don't want to be like me who are one of us, we had like this suitcase and it only went in one direction.
Yeah.
I guess it was an older suitcase. I don't know. And so it's like, get the ones that go in 360 degree, like
Exactly.
those. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's what you're going to have to work through. When you don't want to look up and be like, man, I wish I had done X, because you are tackling all these other critical things, like maybe police clearance or whatever, like your passport. And then it also allows you to downsize at the same time while you're putting stuff in your suitcase. Because it's just like, wow, this dresser is going to be gone or whatever. So it all works together.
Just for your information, we had about 21 suitcases,
Yes.
That's right. Yep. 21.
and we did not bring furniture. We didn't ship it. That's an option if you want. We felt that for where we were in life, we were just going to get the furniture that we wanted while we arrived here, and that it wasn't worth the cost to pay to have that stuff going in a shipping container.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that situation where they're moving what they want to bring, and a lot of things are sentimental. I think a lot of people have maybe something that a grandparent, my grandparent, someone gave you dishes or gave you, there's always some kind of memorabilia that you say, I want to bring that, I want to bring that. But you realize a lot of these things are going to cost, so you have to make a decision. I started taking pictures of a lot of different things, so at least I can look at it, But you do have to really count the costs and look at those things and say, okay, what should I really be bringing to kind of lighten the load, And I think the way our situation was, we had realized that we were blessed with a lot of pieces of furniture that people gave us over the years, and we realized that we really hadn't purchased a lot of new things or things over the years, and so plus a lot of the furniture that we did have were given to us, but they were very, very bulky. And so we knew if we were going to be shipping those, that was really, really going to be very expensive. So we just bought, bought the bullet, and you just say, okay, we're going to just bring what we feel we really need, and what we need to get, we'll get when we get there, so.
And there's no guarantee that it's going to be in like mint condition. There might be some type of insurance you can buy with that. I don't have too much expertise. You might want to Google it. But yeah, you don't know if it's going to come in the same shape that you ordered it or if it'll come at all, depending on what people decide to do. Prayerfully, it would come. But I'm just saying, we know people where sometimes things go up missing. Not trying to install fear or anything, just, do your research. So yeah, you think about those things, and then, like you said, like maybe China or different things that people hold on to. I can't tell you how many houses I walked into with people who have China closets, I guess from stuff when they got married, and it's as dusty as when it was first put in there. It's like, I guess, use what you're gonna use. Think about, the things that really matter. So.
Oh, tell them about, we really did put printers and certain IT things in the hard shells.
Oh, yeah. So we tried to really focus on keeping certain things together. So we had these yoga mats from doing exercise. Mom had yoga mats. And so we would put that in our hard shell, as Deb was saying, suitcases. Then we'd put like our printer in that, or we would put like our air fryer, because we love to be, air frying up our chicken, our food, whatever, we was making in California. And that's joint. It made it all the way to Rwanda. We did decide to part ways with it eventually. But it was fully functional, and it came all the way to Rwanda with us in those hard shells. I believe we had other items we put or tried to put clothes around to make sure it was soft enough. But that's another plus. So you get to, if you're getting your suitcases early and putting in stuff, you get to really map out the things that you are bringing and plan what important stuff needs to go where, what technical equipment needs to go. I know Josiah had like camera equipment that was a little heavy. He was like, okay, let's put this in the hard shell. So, yeah.
So thank you for the question. So folks, here's one question. Are there items that you all did not think to pack and realized that you really needed them?
Was there any items?
Items that you all did not think to pack and realized that you really needed it.
So far, no. Because I think you also mentioned Trimia about downsizing and minimalism. At least I think that was you. And we're not like self-professed minimalists or anything like that, but we do kind of just follow that philosophy a bit of just like what do we need? Try to make use of spaces that we have, whether it's a detached house or a condo or a townhouse, townhouse. And so far, no.
No, he's right. We really scrutinized as much as we could. Because I know I want to have certain clothing I wanted to bring, but my husband was like, well, you just have to get new clothing when you get there. So I think the things are like, you got to just tighten it up and just say, okay, this is what I'm going to bring. This is not what I'm going to bring. So in reference to that, no, I think there may be some other things that we had thought to do and did later. What was that, the police report thing? So it might have been like a document type of thing. That was something we wish we had done ahead of time, but we were able to go back home and visit, and we did do that. But in reference to items or things to bring, I can't really think of anything that like, oh, I wish I'd, bought that. So
I can think of one item I wish that we had brought with us, and that's our cast iron skillet. That joint will last generations, but as you know, it's iron, so it's very heavy. We had to part ways with it. I bring it up every now and then, every couple months, but that's about it.
But on him saying that, we have friends here that say there is a store that I will soon be going to that I can get a cast iron. So, skillet, yes.
And let's see here, the other question, is there a bank in Tanzania that you would recommend? So, okay, it'll depend on your needs. Our experience is we had not used a bank in Rwanda or Tanzania. We do receive income, and it goes to our U.S. banks, and we're able to use World Remit. I think we did a video on that, right? With drawing, or I remember a box or something I was doing in PowerPoint. Anyway, and so in fact, I found a new way to use what they call Tigo Pesa here on my phone, which allows me to pay for things with my money. So I'm just moving things from, in a virtual world, it just exists wherever.
Yeah. It's like the embracing of the mobile money, depending on
That's
wherever
it.
that you're going to. We have CashApp in the States, PayPal, Rwanda had whatever they had. Like Dad said, there's Tigo Pesa here, PesaPal, and many others. There are people that we're buddies with or that we follow, like I believe Journey with Us. I think they had Tanzanian bank account. I think they've spoken on things like that. So check them out for sure, because they're digital nomads and like very immersed in like East Africa, doing that business deals and things like that. Ashley in Africa might talk about it. She's based in South Africa. She's an entrepreneur and economist. She's got a lot to say about finances. So consider looking them up, Journey with Us and Ashley in Africa.
Also on that banking, so I alluded to it depends on your needs. For example, so in Zanzibar, you have a predominantly, as in 90%, Muslim country. So there are banks here that follow Muslim traditions and Muslim ways, which may mean careful interest rates or not too much. Whereas there are banks here in Zanzibar that do not follow those guidelines. So that may make a difference to you. There is a couple of banks that friends here have used. They still went through some things to get those banks. So if you were to interact with us privately, we could probably give you more information about that. So coffee on deck. All right, CD, hey. I came in late and would like to know, will this live stay up a while? Good question. We were mumbling about that just a second ago. Maybe some questions I had may have been answered already. No, actually, I doubt it, because not a lot of questions have come in yet. So go ahead and fire away, ask away. But to answer the first part of your question, go ahead.
Yeah, this will stay up for sure, because the replay, they call it, after the live is just as valuable. People still interact in the regular comments, and we answer what we can. We're on the latter half of this live because we weren't going to be on long. So we have a little bit more time. So if you got questions, please fire away. Trimia, okay, I'm glad you have the apps. So you have like CashApp, PayPal. That's great. They don't have that here for the locals, like the actual devices. That's kind of mind-blowing for some people, but it's true. Like there's no Hulu native to certain countries. There's African Netflix, there's Tanzanian Netflix, there's South African Netflix. It's the same thing with certain apps. But if you're from another country, if you're from the US, if you're from Great Britain and have certain apps that are great for your livelihood, in this case finance, they'll still work. It's fine. Your family can send you money to your PayPal, your Cash App, until you're ready to open a bank account abroad.
So we're going to be taking questions for about 20 more minutes. So this will be an hour-long live portion, and then you can watch it like Josiah said, okay? Until those questions come in, I did want to say this, more of a sobering kind of thing, and that is the more and more we have done consultations, multiple consultations, we have put documents together for people. We have freebies available for folks on our website. We have some other documents that will be available for purchase coming up and things like that. But the more we get into this, the more clear it becomes transformation, something that Josiah, as the leader, brought up to us in our family meeting. Transformation is the key. And we are glad for these questions coming in because that's fun and we get to answer them. One thing that's heavy on my heart that we had in our pre-meeting before this going live, and that is you really, really need to understand that it will require a transformation on your behalf because your problem, to quote Ann Bashairs, who is quoted by Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, your problem is not your problem. Your problem is your attitude about your problem. There are going to be challenges out the wazoo, just in general moving abroad, but moving abroad to countries that are still developing. And what happens is, if you have not had a shift in your mindset that can begin now while you're still in the US on terra firma there, until you have a shift in your mindset, you are not ready. Because you will be broken down. Earlier, I gave a grotesque but real life story example of what it was like for me at 14, 15 years old on the football field and how I had, barfed on the field during practice. That's a transformation because I was a different person after that happened for the rest of that practice, which was not over just because I had that episode. I was lighter, fleet of foot, a brand new person. What I'm saying is, you, to quote Jeff R., the person who hears us and the person who does this, who actually takes action, are two different people. And you need to actually take the initiative and be hard with yourself. All we do is hold up the mirror so that you can see the truth. And we do that more so in private sessions and lives, but even more so in private sessions, more of the challenges. The thing is that it will break you down when you realize you cannot be on autopilot at any point in time. You're on autopilot now. You can run to the Piggly Wiggly, the Kroger, the Ralph's, the Food Lion. You can get fast food. It'll be consistent. A McDonald's hamburger tastes convenient, efficient, assembly line production. That is not the case. And it'll like, when you realize you're at level 1 or L1 on everything from, how do I do the electricity? How do I pay for the water? What about my driver's license? Or
internet, Wi-Fi,
banking. Yes, the speed of it.
The speed of that, if you need it.
The situations that might occur with the power, the situations that might occur in everyday life. You realize you're at level 1, meaning you're not able to do it with your eyes closed like the back of your hand, because you're able to do those things right now with Pepco and BG&E and Illinois Central Power and all this. You're able to do those things like the back of your hand. But when you realize you cannot do that, you're not at a level 5, you're at level 1 on too many things simultaneously, it can wear out your soul. So you've got to have little things set up, like, are you going to call your children on a consistent basis for that emotional support? You're going to call your family? Have you already set up a schedule? Have you practiced that? Have you actually thought about, you know what? I'm an introverted person, and a few of us here around the table are. I've been learning that Africa is more of a communal kind of a thing. And it's like when I'm out by myself, somebody wants to come up and ask me a question or talk to me just to be nice, which is really kind of great, but it's kind of tough on an introverted person. And this is actually in a book I'm going to recommend. The book is not ours. The book is not that expensive. It is by Mr. Joseph Mbele, Mbele. He is Tanzanian. He is a professor at Dar, University of Dar. He's also been a professor at University of Madison, Wisconsin. He also had the task of training individuals coming from the United States to settle on the continent of Africa, and his specialty was culture. He wrote a book called Africans and Americans, Cultural Differences. Go on Amazon, get that book. If you're going to interact with us, you need to have kind of read that. It's anecdotal stories, mostly, and he's going to tell you why you have a lot of money and you think that means something, but they have plenty of time here, and that's why they're not running chop, chop, chop for you. So just some things to get that sobering message out there.
We've got some questions here. Okay, Trimia also has World Remit and M-Pesa. So if you're new here, she was asking about banking. Those are good things to look into. We use World Remit, where you can make easy transfers of money from your USD to other accounts. We've had no issues with them, so Trimia has that and also recommends it. Yes, my parents might have more to say, but please explain police clearance for what? Yes, depending on what country you're going to, most might do that, especially here in Africa. It is fingerprints, background check, because they're trying to see, who are they letting into the country. We didn't do it when we left LA. We lived in LA and we first went to Rwanda because, I guess Rwanda didn't require it.
No.
So every country is different. That is why it is so important. And I applaud all of you who are doing it, really making a list of where do you want to live, where do you want to go. Some countries may not do it, whereas Tanzania, Zanzibar did require that you do police clearance and background, and you share that.
I have a comment on the police clearance. So picture this. You run a country, it's called Wakanda, and you don't want people coming in who have a criminal background. So what you do is you require those people to produce some type of documentation that says they are not on the lam running from the police from their country of origin. Hence, this is something that is done at your local police station. We went to cross from your school, University of Maryland, College Park, went there, paid a nominal fee, it was like dirt cheap, and they do your fingerprints, you fill out the forms, they send them to West Virginia, the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, will then check your background and send you the results online, email, or both.
Don't some jobs require background checks?
Yes, I used to work at Department of Justice, and they require a background check, and we had to be fingerprinted and all that stuff. It's no different than that, as a matter of fact. Yes, that is very good.
Oh, great coffee on deck. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I'll get the full coverage of clearance just in case. Gratitude for your response. Yes, so as far as we're concerned, this is very easy to do. Just again, wherever you're interested in looking, just see if it's necessary. Or, even if it's not necessary, because again, nominal fee, it didn't break the bank. Maybe consider going ahead and doing it anyway for your records and put it with your birth certificate and things of all your critical things, because you might be interested in multiple properties. You might need it maybe if you're border hopping or just visiting other places. Near as we can tell, it didn't hurt to have it. So yeah, so if you're coming in, we have a little bit more time. This wasn't going to be a very long live. We were asking people, what was your single biggest challenge to moving to Africa? This replay will stay up, so welcome. If you're watching on the replay in the future right now, you're welcome. Coffee on deck. So we're just answering questions. We're also letting you know that in the highlighted comment in the live chat and also in the description when you watch this, we're putting together a workshop, where we'd like to put one together to answer more of your questions. It's also toward a greater project, but this is level 1, a workshop. If you'd like to be involved, if you'd like to have your questions answered with us in a group setting on Zoom or something of that nature, email africanworkshop to awakenwithmark@gmail.com to get on the wait list. We will send you a survey so that you can tell us what you're interested in knowing about. We will be answering everything based on our experience and the shared experiences of those that we call friends here now.
Uncensored.
Uncensored, yes.
So the question on the table was, and you can see where Josiah typed it in the title. You can read it there. Folks, what's your single biggest challenge moving to abroad, moving to Africa, just moving abroad? What's your single biggest challenge? So let us know that, and we'll riff about that. Side note on the police clearance thing, if you don't get it done, there is the possibility that in this new virtual world, I noticed online where you can get it done virtually. It's going to, depending on the state, it's going to cost you more, just like when we had sold our house on the East Coast while living on the West Coast. They asked, are we going to come out there? We said, no, we're not coming out there. And so we actually did a, what's it called, virtual, what's that thing that where they validate your signature? Notary. Yeah, we did a virtual notary. And so these things, in other words, there are always possibilities. And so just wanted you to know that. I see that Safiya let Joseph, I'm praying about y'all providing destiny helpers, people who I can trust. That is well put. I would also like to say this to you. Yes, absolutely, I agree with that. I do want to say this. Don't despise getting your discernment muscles strengthened by having to interact with individuals who are hindrances and not helpers.
And untrustworthy.
Yeah, and untrustworthy.
We have dealt with them.
What am I saying? What I'm saying is that sometimes we think that, and I'm not saying you're thinking this. I'm not saying you're thinking this. This is something we discussed last week or something like that in our family fellowship time. But basically, there are challenges that we face, and they're designed to strengthen us, to strengthen the discernment muscle. Like, let me throw a wild example at you. A high percentage of people who win the lottery end up going broke afterwards. Part of the reason why is because they never strengthened the muscle to know how to maintain money and manage it. So when they got a windfall, they didn't know what to do because they hadn't had challenges. And so what I'm saying is, what I have found growing up is that the challenges of life have prepared me for the next level and something bigger in life. So just something for you to think about.
Oh, real quick, go ahead, Daniel. If you guys are also interested in weekend lives, like Saturdays, we're all off work, type that in the live chat and type that in a comment if you're watching on the replay. Just something I thought about. If you're interested in interacting, asking questions, stories with us live on Saturdays, just type Saturday in the comments and in the live chat. Go ahead, Daniel.
Bouncing off of what Dad said, yeah, I remember us interacting with someone. I think they were praying for more patience, and I guess that person, or even people, sometimes we think that if we pray for it, I mean, he deals with everyone differently. Maybe we'll just be able to endure more. We'll have more patience. But that person realized that they were being positioned to go through more. What's a good word? More situations of intense, long interactions or whatever. I think an example they used was like being in heavy traffic. That's working on your patience. You're going to have more patience. If you can get through that, you've grown. As we're thinking about on this comment in terms of trust in people, because yeah, we've definitely gone through our share of trusting people or not, or feeling it out. So yeah.
So there's some questions that we see coming up, so we'll try to hit them quickly and deeply. One of them is, my single biggest challenge is regrouping after a family decision to move has been changed to a me moving as a single woman. So thank you, first of all, for being transparent to share that with everyone here. And that is something that's going to be interesting. There are people who are here who have faced a similar challenge, and it's going to be unique for each individual, of course. And so this is why one's why is very important, because your why that you establish way up front helps you to fight through the obstacles, because there will be inevitable obstacles. And so thank you for sharing that. Let's see, next one. My biggest challenge, finding people who I can trust. Oh, someone else is saying that. I think she means be alone there much of the time. If you can, try to get groups, social media groups. These young men have talked about that a lot in the past, but you can join groups right now. You can join Facebook groups, you can join WhatsApp groups, and
Yeah, type in black people of whatever country. There's black people of Bali. I believe there's a black people of Zanzibar. In fact, there's, that's right, the expat app. We've dropped that in the chat before. Daniel, maybe you can like share it and copy the link in there for them. There's the expat app. But these groups you will find on the expat app and similar apps. You will find them absolutely on Facebook, because that's the place for all these groups and private and public pages and things like that. You can find them in newsletter format. Check out Travel Noir if you've never heard of them. Noire, I believe, Travel Noir. They have a YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, blog, newsletter. I'm on it, where they just put out articles and newsletters just to help people who want to live abroad. But there's all types of stuff.
next question. The language, have you had any trouble with that? I know it depends on the country, but have any of you have run into anyone, any place you have visited with /purchases or anything along those lines? So y'all chime in. So Rwanda, big time challenges, because Kinyarwanda is what they speak there, and that's not, that's a challenging language. And for example, Google Translate is on an iPhone easily. And Daniel and I, my wife and I agreed I would take father and son trips with all 4 of our sons. So we've been to different countries, one by just the 2 of us. Daniel chose Japan. So we're in Osaka or someplace where we went to get pizza, remember that? Yes. We got our iPhones, we got Google Translate. The young lady at the pizza place does not speak any English. We only know konnichiwa, and that's about the extent of it. We ordered a fabulous pizza. We were laughing with her using Google Translate. So it depends on it depends on what country you're going to. Now, in terms of learning Swahili, that'll help you on a majority of Africa. And also, let's see, I think culture is where I will end my points about this question, because I found that people are very helpful here. And in fact, I'm walking with plenty of folks who don't speak much English, but they're speaking English to me, and they're kind of nudging me from the coffee shop to the cafe, to what's her name, who's in charge of safety, walking with me, took a walk, and they're nudging me with the Swahili and stuff like that. They're really encouraging, whereas maybe another place we were in, the folks were a little bit kind of more reserved as a people, and they weren't nudging as much, and their language was more difficult. But culture has been the thing that has been the challenge so much.
Yeah, in reference to the language, like he was saying here, learning, if, like you say, if you can, before you come where you think you're going to go, start learning the language. That's really good, because you can really soak it up, especially if you have children or young children. they soak that up really well. But being here, we've done pretty good because where we are, a lot of people, like he says, they want you, they encourage you, they want you to know, and they're happy that you're here and that you want to know the language. And so we try to, exchange and say the different words. And at one time we were taking classes and the guys were doing classes, but going to get back into that to kind of, we have a Swahili book too, but a lot of our friends here help us, and it's been working for us. So we're grateful that those that we've met have helped and encouraged us. So yeah.
I would just say you don't have to get overwhelmed by this language, the whole ordeal. Just learning those basics and mastering those, you can be confident in that, because there's already so much stuff when it comes to moving abroad. You're like, here's another thing. Yeah, yeah. So that's day-to-day communication. So you can focus on those basics and get those down. And especially if you're moving here, like Dad was saying, to East Africa, mainly Tanzania or the Zanzibar area, people will encourage and nudge you, and they will greet you in Swahili and expect you to say it back. They're going to be saying the time, the prices, everything. But yeah, and it'll definitely help, again, finding those communities where people that can not only help you, get whatever things that you may need to get, or just in community in general, there might be someone who knows the language or knows someone which can help smooth the process or the transition. So
That reminds me, if you are interested in a virtual Swahili course, we are connected with someone building something now. Send an email to awakenwithmark@gmail.com, subject line Swahili class. We've gotten a lot of responses the past several weeks already, and we're really excited for the next step to happen for you guys. So Swahili class, that's the subject line. Send an email to awakenwithmark@gmail.com, and we'll go from there.
And let's see here. I'm forging ahead though. Let's see, I hope I worded that. Moving single until others join you. I have never lived away from my family before, and that has me a bit nervous. That is honesty there. That can be the situation. You can do things. There are, how can I put it? There are things that can help you to work through that, to find out the bottom line why that might be. And someone could say, well, it's obvious. Well, no, there might be something else. And I'm not talking about therapy either. I'm just talking about, oh, the reason why I feel this way is because such and such, and then you can address it. I threw something out at you earlier, and that was the GROW model, where, gee, what is your goal? I'm trying to be in a country, and I won't be with my family. Well, what's your current reality? Well, they still kind of support me, because we know people who have moved here from other countries, not even the United States, who have not told their father, their parents. So maybe you're ahead of that person. You see what I'm saying here? And then the O is, what are your options? And also, as a tidbit, I've heard my wife say this a lot. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's not an option. And then there are things you may like that make them options. So be careful of your biases, and then ask yourself, what is the step I can take? And it might mean go and sit down and have coffee with them. It might mean saying, well, why are you so concerned that I'm moving here? And they might need to just explain that to you, and you all deal with that. Welcome, Breakthrough Wives Club. Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Hi there, sis. Let's see. Oh, somebody's encouraging everyone here. Welcome to Africa. Karibu. Compare and learn something from Africa, please. Yes, we are learning a lot. We encourage you to also. And they say Africa can learn something from you people. So we receive that. I have heard this oftentimes, and that is, if they know you care, they will hear what you share. Okay? So we want to demonstrate care. Coffee deck, let's see, coffee on deck. Weekend lives at your leisure, Saturday lives will be nice. I think she's answering a poll
yeah.
that you did, Josiah.
Yes. Okay, good. So you want lives on Saturday? That's great. Again, in all of you who are in here and who watch the replay, if you are interested in us doing Saturday morning, afternoon lives, because we're actually 8 hours ahead of the East Coast of the U.S. If you're interested in weekend Saturday lives, just type Saturday in the comments section or in the live chat. We just want to see if y'all want to do that.
Also, I encourage y'all to really read through the chat, even if you have to go back and watch the video of this or whatever, because having been a trainer facilitator person for over 20-something years, it's not the sage on the stage. In other words, it's not us four, even though we're here loving, just hundreds of yards from the Indian Ocean right now. There are people in the comments, your peers, they're saying a lot of informative things, and we can all learn from what's being written.
Take notes. Yeah, go ahead, Dad. Take
Yes,
notes.
take notes. Africans from all countries are welcoming, but the 3 topics that you will differ simply is race, politics, and marriage. There's a tip from Gerald Taboo. Thank you very much. Let's see. Google Translate. Gotcha. Yes, that is helpful.
With that and Swahili, just be creative with how you want to learn. Get books, email us to learn more about the virtual Swahili class, because as of this video, Google Translate is not the best for Swahili. We've learned that from people here as we were learning. So just keep that in mind. It may be a stronger resource at the time of this video for maybe the Romance languages and things like that. We just want you to be aware, but it doesn't mean it's not something you can try sometimes. Go ahead, Dad.
Let's see here.
Got a lot of feedback.
My challenge is getting steady income from the United States of America. And yes, that is something right there. I would say that
Get out of debt.
Thank you, Josiah.
If you're in debt.
Get out of debt. And you may have to shift your mindset first, okay? I'm not sure where you are mentally, but we are not minimalists, but we decided to spend money on things that kind of matter to us. So we have friends who have spent, I don't know, a couple $1,000, pulled their money together to get a shipping container and ship things over. Well, that didn't jive with us. But then again, we spent money to have sons go to Australia, France, Germany, Italy to expand their horizons or things like that. Or they didn't go to public school, even though we pay taxes, and you homeschool for almost 25 years because character and integrity rated higher to us than facts and figures and learning the oppressor's ways. So, but back to getting steady income, Josiah already mentioned some other websites that we have, YouTubers, and we have no problems with staying in our lane and then recommending others. He said Ashley in Africa and Tiffany Garside from Journey with Us, they will help you do that kind of stuff in terms of getting income. I just beg of you to check your mindset first, because that's kind of my area thing, because that's what it's going to require first and foremost to be able, just like if you're trying to lose weight and you can't figure out why that isn't working, it's because your why or a change that needs to happen between the 6 inches between your ears.
Check, just to reiterate that for the money, because that comes up a lot, and as it should, because it takes money to get those boarding passes, to move your luggage or whatever it is that you're trying to move. Again, to reiterate, definitely check out Journey with Us and Ashley in Africa, because they definitely push what we're practicing, definitely DB&I. We're in our early digital nomad freelancer bag right now. Again, my parents are retired, and we're blessed to be able to live with them while we're doing what we're doing. But this is also the information age. And I was just talking to Breakthrough Wives Club. The children of darkness are wiser in their generation than the children of light.
Thank you.
And that's bad because it's the prophet, whoever it was saying the children of light need to have their finger on the pulse of the generation that they're in. And I'm gonna just say it. You're gonna hear a lot, especially if you believe like us and you are walking in faith. You're gonna hear a lot about the grid going down and USD going. That is true. So pray about that. Be very maybe prudent and very knowledgeable on what you need to do, but also respectfully, the internet is here right now.
Because we on it.
We on it. We're live, answering questions, hanging out. USD is here. It does fluctuate. Today, you got so many shillings to the US dollar. Tomorrow, literally, it might change, and we stay abreast of that. We did the same thing in Rwanda, going to the Western Union and things when we had to take out cash for just day-to-day life and things like that. You will have to be on top of those things. But in this generation, you are welcome to learn, to do YouTube creator stuff, to do blogging and newsletters, to do web design, to do wellness. T3andMe, we enjoy their content a lot, and they are a great resource. They started their Ford's Herbal Wellness store in their native Nashville, Tennessee, prior to moving to Tanzania, and now it's exclusive. No, they have built brick and mortar Ford's Herbal. It wasn't brick and mortar in Nashville. It was actually mostly online. So the Most High was really with them on that. They kept it online when they were in the States. They've been in Tanzania for about 4 years now. And now they have a brick and mortar Ford's Herbal Wellness Center in Mbezi Beach, Tanzania, serving the expat community and the local community. And if you didn't, that's not even all of it. Now they sell courses. Are you interested in buying products? Are you interested in learning how to make your own products? They now take cohorts at least twice a year where they're training you. We have a friend, shout out to Tammy, love you so much, who have taken their wellness herbal courses for their wellness and also because they are interested in being entrepreneurs as well. So that was just to answer the person who mentioned just trying to have income. The Most High has provided things like the internet, things like social media and networking that we can take advantage of. We should not allow ourselves to be paralyzed by what's going on with BRICS, what's going on with USD. We should be abreast of those things. But live Psalm 91. They that dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of him, the Almighty. He will give you bread. He will cover you with wings. He has put what's the other scripture? Knowledge of witty inventions in you to take care of yourself if you're traveling solo and to take care of and contribute to your family if you're coming as a family. So we say that to encourage. I don't know all that you should do. We don't know all you should do, but there are still resources here. And something's been going on with the internet the past 10 plus years where people are using the internet to maximize on the gifts the Most High has given them, and it's changing their lives for the better. It's one of the reasons you are interacting with us right now. So I wanted to put that out there.
So, hey, let's see here, Breakthrough Wives Club. I've been searching countries that have a big media presence and fast Wi-Fi. One of your previous lives helped me to really focus on what we need and desire and be honest about what we desire. Yeah, that's very important. We mentioned that, if I understood you correctly, during the last live, what I mentioned was the point is that people need to spend time reflecting on what they want. And people have a very challenging time deciding what they want. It seems to be easier to say what they don't want. And I think that's because we live in a fallen world. But if you can fight through it and actually sit down with yourself and be to thine own self, be true, and find out what you do want. Do you want to be up in the mountains and hills? Do you want to be by the ocean side? Is fast internet important? Do you want to drive on the right-hand side of the road or the left-hand side? All that kind of stuff. And that's found in actually our free starter guide. It'll kind of lead you through that to help you a little bit. But you got to do the groundwork to find out what you like and start from there. Let's see here. Thank you for addressing my concerns. Did you bring all 21 bags on the same plane when you left? Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Yes. Let's see here. I've
And-
learned.
And we had TSA locks on our most important, or did we have them on all of them? Or at least our most important suitcases. So, but yes, we did have all of them, and we put just to give more tips on it. We put TSA locks on certain ones, and we had certain color coordinated stripes and different things so we could easily locate our luggage. We also had these contact cards inside, or it's like a little strap that you can hook almost like you see like this onto the luggage. So if we lost it by chance, or the airplane, the people who work it, bags can go missing sometimes. It has our information, our name, our email on there, our number. So yeah, all 21 suitcases.
And let's see here. Mia said, what is the big deal? Moving is something that uses energy, but don't tell people who can't afford it and have no adjustment and verbal skills. So I'm not sure if I understood everything that you said there. So if you could type a little bit more. I will say this, and that is that one of the things is we're not trying to convince, and I'm not saying you said that either, but sometimes in our comments on our videos, we get bots and people who just want to say challenging things. We normally call those types of people haters. Anyway, we're not trying to convince anyone of anything. All we're simply saying is this is our experience, and there's an option that we believe Western media has said is not an option. And they've done everything they can to paint it to not to be an option. But when we walk on the powdery beaches of flowing sands of Paje, and we see our Caucasian cousins, multitudes buying up properties, the Swiss, the Dutch, the French, the
British, Swedish, for the French, yeah, all of them are living their best lives, fully hip to the fact that there is opportunity on this here continent. And as far as I'm concerned, most of us, black, white, or otherwise, in the West, specifically in the United States, had no clue that all this opportunity was here in Africa. But it's very interesting that a lot of Europeans, they're entirely hip, and they're good, and they're comfortable. And that tells me something that the rest of us can do it too. So that's why we like to share that. And thank you, Tremiya, for shouting out our videos. Because you can watch the powdery beaches of not Mbele, Mnemba, Paje, and wherever else we went. Those videos are sitting on our YouTube channel right now. We welcome you to watch them.
And let's see here. So I guess what I was going to say is we're just simply sharing our experiences, and people choose to watch our channel. It's like the old TVs when we had 3 channels and you had to have the youngest kid go up there and turn the channel. If it's not the appropriate channel, you get to turn the channel. And I'll be encouraging more and more people to take advantage of that option. One thing I will say about this, about the kingdom of God, people don't realize it, but they're always voting. They're always in the voting booth. Yeah. Some of you know the story of Gideon and his 300, but before he got to the 300, there was some voting that took place. And some individuals selected themselves out of that group. So they didn't get to go, they didn't get the victory. And because they simply chose to focus on the water they were drinking versus the mission at hand. And what I'm saying is, we are not for everybody, and we are quite comfortable with that and quite okay with that. So that's what I have to say about that. Let's see here. Oh, someone, Tremiya Yashriel, is saying, reminding us, we have a great video regarding creativity and our creator. Check it out for inspiration, trying to figure out income. So thank you for knowing more about our videos than we do. There's a lot going through our minds. Let's see here. And we are suffering here. Let's see. You guys are a huge blessing. Thank you so much for your transparency and devotion to this channel and the community. Thank you for saying so. We are desirous to give back to the community and to serve. So thank you for saying that. yes, avoid buying things on the street. Once your accent is noticed, you will get, I think she means to say, or he means to say, scammed or price hike. Yeah, and that can act. Well, that happened to me in Jamaica too. People said, "Oh, you look it, but as soon as you open your mouth."
Certainly, I'm not a pro yet, but certainly learn to haggle or negotiate because we have, you know, local friends here and things who sometimes shop and hang out with us, or we're hanging out with them while they're shopping. And so, you know, sometimes it's people. Sometimes it can be as simple in our experience as shingapi, because that's basically asking how much in Swahili. Sometimes that's enough, and you'll be fine, and the price will be okay. The more you're out and about shopping locally, either by yourself or with your local newfound family, with the locals, you'll get a sense for the different textures, clothes, food, and things you want to buy. We're like, no, that's a little too high, and you know, you can negotiate down or something like that. You can also move on because there's mangoes right here. There's mangoes right here. There's mango. Like a lot of people are selling the same thing. You'll be taken care of in our experience, regardless of your accent. But I appreciate what Gerald put out there because that helped us. You need to know it level sets you, and then you can go from there. We have no fear going out and doing things locally sometimes.
So I guess we're going to begin to wrap this thing up, folks. And but I do appreciate Coffee on Deck saying with the TV and hold the coat hanger with the aluminum foil on it. And yes, I and Marlene are from the age we did that, absolutely.
Yes.
And
Did
so
it in the 90s too, I think, before we got our nice flat screen, early 90s, my Saturday morning cartoons.
Anyway, all right. So reiterating the announcements.
Okay.
If you're interested in Swahili class, email awakenwithmark@gmail.com, and in the subject line put
Swahili class. That's it. And then the other order of business, if you are interested in the Africa Move workshop, because we're going to do it if you want it. If not, we won't do it. So add Africa workshop in the subject line to awakenwithmark@gmail.com. So we're basically just telling you, just tell us what you're interested in. Swahili class, awakenwithmark@gmail.com. Africa Move workshop, and awakenwithmark@gmail.com. We have the free ebook, Epic Africa Move Starter Guide ebook. We covered a lot of things with like the TSA locks and various basic things in this ebook that you can find at awakenwithmark.com. I put the website right here in the live chat. It will also be in the description of this video. Awakenwithmark.com, where you can find that ebook. We also have the 3 Pillars to Success, because Dad was talking about the mindset. That's the foundation, because you guys asked a lot of really great stuff. There were different concerns raised. We encourage you to go to awakenwithmark.com and also download that free guide as well. Did I miss any other announcements? Did I cover everything?
Nope. I don't think so. No.
Okay, great. Well, great. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys' emails. Again, for the workshop, when you send us that email that you want to do the Epic Africa Move workshop, watch out for your inbox. We will be sending you a very important survey so that we can build this thing together. So peace and blessings. Thank you, everyone who watched. Enjoy the replay, and we will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.